And now for something completely different. It's the Atheist Experience with Russell Glasser and Don Baker.
Hey.
Hey. Today is Sunday, July 25th, 2010. We are a live call-in public access atheist television show based in Austin, Texas. We take calls from the local Austin area, and thanks to our live internet stream from all over the world, the Atheist Experience is sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin, a nonprofit educational organization promoting positive atheism and the separation of church and state. You can find out more by visiting www.atheist-community.org. Be sure to check out the fact page. The show is live every Sunday from 4:30 to 6 o'clock p.m. on Austin Access Channel 16. If you would like to watch us live outside of Austin, simply visit the official Atheist Experience website, www.atheist-experience.com. Click on live stream at the top of the page, and you can also participate in a chat room during the show. Also at the website, you'll find audio and video from past episodes. You can click on Archive to find a list of programs, including links to the downloads and the podcast. You can catch fan-selected clips of the Atheist Experience on YouTube, and you can see the full episodes at blip.tv. In addition to this program, The Atheist also sponsors a theoretically bi-weekly internet audio podcast called The Nonprofits. You can visit www.nonprofitsradio.com for more information. Ordinarily, this would air live from Dillahunty International Studios, but in the last few months, things have gotten all crazy with people just spur of the moment trying to record one-off episodes, and so we've now got 3 of those up for your listening pleasure, which you can check out if you're a podcast subscriber. A couple by me and Linnea, one featuring Dean Jones, and an excellent one with Martin Wagner and his friends Gia and Chris. Weekly meetings for the Atheist Community of Austin are hosted at Romeo's on Barton Springs Road from 11:30 to 1 every Sunday, except for the first Sunday of the month when we host our lecture series at the Austin History Center, located at the corner of 9th and Guadalupe. The next lecture will be held on August 1st, and it will feature Sarah Weiss and Brian Spears from Americans United for the Separation of Church and State, speaking about the importance of the separation of church and state. If you can't make it to the morning meetings, you can certainly join us for dinner right after this program, beginning at around 6:30 every Sunday. Most of the people involved with the production of the Atheist Experience will head for Threadgill's Restaurant at 301 West Riverside Drive at Barton Springs Road. Come on down, have some good food, you know the drill. Finally, the ACA also hosts an Atheist Happy Hour every Thursday, beginning at around 7 p.m. at the Dog and Duck Pub, 406 West 17th Street at Guadalupe. If you'd like to get in touch, but you don't feel like calling in today or ever, you can email us anytime at tv@atheist-community.org. We get a pretty high volume of messages at that address. There are a bunch of people who monitor that email and do our level best to answer all the questions that we can get in. But if you don't get an answer, we apologize. Check out the fact page at the website also, and the wiki. That's ironchariots.org for some cool answers to typical apologetics. And sometimes, if your email is especially interesting or common, it may be featured on the blog at atheistexperience.blogspot.com without the hyphen.
But don't despair, your name won't be there, right?
Yeah,
it's
right.
not like we're going to trash people using their identity. We're going to
might
trash the ideas, not the people, right?
Yeah, or we might not trash the ideas. For instance, just today, I got yet another email coming in saying, I'm a young atheist and my parents don't know I'm an atheist yet, so what should I do about that?
We get a lot of those.
Yeah, and I've considered throwing up a blog post because it's always handy to just have something I can point to say, check that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye on that blog because that's always a great source of information. Be aware, folks, that the Austin Bat Cruise is fast approaching. The ACA Town Lake Bat Cruise will be held on Saturday, September 25th, 2010, from 6 to 8 p.m. Keep an eye on atheistcommunity.org or atheist-community.org for more details about that. People are likely to be coming from all over the place. Any idea if we're full yet?
I don't think we're full. People can make reservations there, but I think another thing that should be mentioned is that we're going to actually have a lecture event that day and a dinner event, and then a go out to Esther's Follies event. And so there'll be a number of events, and hopefully it will make it more appealing for out-of-towners to come down and have a day with us and enjoy our company and chat and have fun and meet other atheists from around the country, that sort of thing.
So come early and come often.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success in the past for that event.
Right. So that's the end of the announcements.
Okay, those are the magic pause bars for people watching the video in high speed.
Hey, people. So it's been a while, Don.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Right.
Yeah, we seem to run in different circles. I'm South Austin, you're North Austin.
No, actually I'm in South Austin.
You are?
Now. We need to start running more in the same circles.
Yeah, we ought to do that. Sounds like a good plan. And God is at work, because I just heard the thunderclap.
I don't know if they heard that or not, but it's thundering pretty heavily outside because the wrath of God, you know,
must be a good topic today. That's all I can say.
Right. Everyone's a critic. So what's up?
Okay. Well, I guess in the past I've done a couple of series where I've had a topic that was so big I couldn't do in one show, and today I'm going to start a new one. I've talked in the past about the Bible's greatest hits, or the negative impact of the Bible and how it's been interpreted and used. I've talked about scamlets, or ways in which folks have packaged these reusable ways of scamming people, and religions are popular for doing that. Today I'm going to start a new series that I call the buzzwords of ignorance. And what I mean by this is words used because of their emotional meaning, relying on the assumed ignorance of the audience and who are unaware of its real meaning. And these are words that are most often used in propaganda. These propaganda words is really what we're talking about. These are often used in politics, like weapons of mass destruction or weapons of mass distraction, depending on what you want to do. The war on terror, the spreading of democracy, those are some national ones. War on drugs. These are all kind of goofy ideas that when you unpack them, they don't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, they sound good on the surface. So, but we're religious, so we're gonna stick to religious-based buzzwords. And today, one that particularly gripes me is the buzzword Judeo-Christian, and that seems to be used quite a bit lately. So you hear it in the terms of Judeo-Christian values, Judeo-Christian beliefs. There's also the Judeo-Christian founding of the U.S., which you often also hear, but I'm actually going to try to separate that off and do that next time, talk about the Christian nation myth, which is another one of these. They're pretty closely related, it turns out. So it's a propaganda device used with the following purposes. First off, it's a mechanism to gloss over the 1,500 years of Jewish persecution by Christians and their theological differences. So that's one purpose of this term. Another purpose is an attempt to steal credit for America's strength on behalf of God. Third purpose is a way to claim special credit and distinction from secularism and godless communism that we saw during the Cold War, supposedly from Russia, so which is another propaganda device. It's also a way to distance U.S. from Islam. So those are the four ways I think this word is most often used.
Yeah. And that last one, even though Islam is as much an offshoot from Christianity as Christianity is an offshoot from Judaism, I would think.
Well, yeah, Islam, has roots back into Christianity and Judaism. So and they worship the same God, and people don't seem to realize that, or don't seem to be. Anyway, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So these four things. Maybe I'll read a quote for what Judeo-Christian values supposedly mean. This is an editorial from the Washington Post. In our country, Judeo-Christian values is a shorthand for a complex idea, the common culture of the American majority. The values are called Judeo-Christian because they derive from the complementary ideas of free will, moral accountability of the individual rather than of the group, the spiritual imperative of imperfect man's struggle to do what's right, and the existence of a true moral law in the teachings of Jesus Christ and the Jewish prophets, and it goes on. But you can see it's already laden with propaganda. So all four of these ideas I just brought up are strongly related to spinning or interpreting some events from our history. And I think that if you spin those historic events in a certain way, it all kind of adds up in the way that they're using this Judeo-Christian. But it turns out it's all spin. It's these interpretations are false. Did you have something? No?
Not yet.
Okay. So the interpretations are meant as an ego stroke for the assumed Christian listeners and to shelter them from reality. They're most often used in political pandering and for votes and donations and that
Would
sort of
you
thing.
say that calling it Judeo-Christian values instead of Christian values is a way to make the pretense that they speak for as broad a majority as possible?
Yeah, I think it's like a puffer fish, right? You're blowing yourself up to be bigger than you are.
It's sort of like the way these distinctions about who is and who isn't a true Christian. Suddenly, those distinctions go away when we're trying to talk about how big a majority is of Christians the United States really is, in order to say that atheists should just shut up.
Sure, and it glosses over the fact that a lot of different Christians have very different beliefs internally, right? There's not a whole lot of unanimity between the different Christian sects, and
I mean, even if it were just Christian values, the values that, say, Fred Phelps holds dear, who, by the way, is at Comic-Con this week.
Oh boy, okay.
Oh, have you heard about that? I've got some stuff to say about that.
I haven't.
But those are very different from those that, let's say, the Reverend Barry Lynn or some of your
the Protestants and Catholics, are a very big distinction, right? And then within those groups, there are subgroups and so on, and so this whole Judeo-Christian is meant to slam them all together and exclude Islam in the process. So let's talk about the first big event that gives rise to the idea that we're gonna gloss over the history of Christianity. So one definition of Judeo-Christian, just for entertainment, is that I caught on one of the online dictionaries, being historically related to both Judaism and Christianity. The Judeo-Christian tradition. Well, the Judeo-Christian tradition is that of Christians persecuting Jews, okay? People should be aware of this. The big event here that we're talking about is Christianity budded off from Judaism around the 1st century as a kind of bastard child religion. Christianity rose to power in the 4th century with Constantine converting to Christianity, and from then on it had a lot of power, and from then on Christianity persecuted, tortured and killed Jews from then until the Holocaust and way into the 20th century. So we're talking 1,500 years or more of systematic persecution, and you can't just gloss over this. This is the history of Christianity, and ironically, the newsreels from the concentration camps that were played to audiences worldwide did more to stop the killing than all of Christianity, the Bible, prayer, and God could do prior to that. And in effect, these little newsreels, I think, made people sort of aware of how awful this was, and woke people up to, we can't have this go on anymore. This is definitely wrong. And from then on, it became a matter of spinning this horrible history, I think, in order to try to, gloss over the killing of millions of people.